So I wanted to get a video out really quick about this because this is something else. I have been experimenting with Sirius and Orion ever since yesterday, last night. I did a deep dive on my own. Did some just messing around, and wow, these guys are disgusting. I wanted to get information out, just share some of the tech and stuff that I've learned real quick. The fact that you basically have a Wu clone as a passive that's also invincible with no timer is something else. The current setup I'm using right now is I am using a melee influence Zaw combined with you can see I'm using it right here, a secondary encumber gaze kit gun. Because essentially you are using him as a constant primer, who is also just getting kills on his own. Very effectively, might I add. And you can also have Roar, as you'll see I'm about to do here. Swap to that, use Roar, swap back. Cast your shit, everyone's fine. So you have Roar, you have Jade Stars going, you have him priming stuff. He also will shoot this, which is just a grouping tool for free that he'll just launch at you. Very effective. Also, this Acolyte's just gonna explode here. Where is he? He's down there. I can't even find him, and he's already half dead. Like, I don't know what they fed, the AI for this guy, but he is something else. But yeah, being able to... So if you have a Subsume, only one brother gets to have a Subsume. Whichever one is the main one has it. So I have given Orion Roar as a Subsume. I have dumped Power Strength into him a ton, so he's sitting at about 300 some Power Strength. Launches Roar, gives me a 90% damage buff. The way that their abilities work is that you can hold cast to switch to the other brother and use that Subsume going into it. So like I said, if it is out here right now, so if I do this, I can swap Old Goal or Roar, and then quick swap back, and then I'm fine, right? Whoops. That's not how that was supposed to work. I didn't realize which brother I was. Yeah, I have Orion set up to be very, he is only tanky at a moment's notice. This is to make sure that I can get my cast off and just switch back to Sirius, because I use Sirius primarily. Because you're casting more of Sirius's abilities more frequently. And it's better to have Orion as a support, who is casting, the Black Hole for grouping, which is a lot better to be used passively than a lot of Sirius's abilities are, which you want to be casting more often, just to refresh them. Also, another thing I've learned is power donation. You can give power donation to whichever, brother is your off brother, so to speak, and then that will just give your main brother 30% free power strength for nothing. Which I find to be incredibly silly. I don't know what they actually meant by that. The only thing I think I've noticed that is a little bit weak with these guys is survivability. Even then, Sirius gives you a 75% damage reduction. You're killing stuff at such an alarming rate anyway that I feel like it really does not matter. Refresh my buffs here. Sure, everything's good to go. Then you can cast this, this just nukes the room. You gotta play a little bit of a rhythm game here with it. And then if you get all of them right, they do a big bust at the end that just kills pretty much everything. Quite effective. Yeah, it's a lot of buff management and making sure you know your buffs are up at any given time. I'm still working on leveling them. I'm sure that there's so much more depth that you can do with these guys. I think there's a lot of potential here for how you want to make them work together. I don't know if the brother can actually use abilities outside of, I think they're 3 on their own. I don't know if I've seen him use Roar on his own yet. I don't know how good the AI is, but they seem to be killing very efficiently. And they use the 3 pretty frequently. So just having this Spectre that groups for you, you can tag into and launch Roar, and then swap back to the main brother, like so. Whenever it's out. Just gotta be quick about it. Why I have Arcane Persistence on him, so he has a bunch of gates just ready to go at a moment's notice when I need to swap into him. Plenty of armor, plenty of damage reduction. I'll need to work on more refined versions of these builds, but as they are, they just seem incredibly strong. I say as I die. I don't know how that happened. Like I said, these are just like first thoughts. I'm sure that as they are refined, they will get a lot better. Oh, it's because I was Orion, that's why. But like I said, trying to balance the survivability between them both is like the one pain point I'm having. Once I figure that out, though, I think that these guys will be beautiful. I'm currently using shield tanking on Sirius, and then I have the persistence set up for Orion. I feel like I'm not set on the Archon shards yet. I just have 5 Half-Forged Red going on first right now. Otherwise, I might be switching some to either duration or maybe giving some tanking ability to either of them with them somehow. I'm not entirely sure, because I believe that Sirius is also applicable for using persistence, but he does not have a lot of armor to do that with. So I find that he might need a little bit help from Archon shards to be able to get that off the ground. Yeah, also the other brother is invincible, the one you are not playing as. So that's really good to know, and so he can just tag out, be healed. So you don't really need to manage their health separately. It really is just an invincible Spectre that will kill stuff and prime stuff for you. Yeah, this is mainly what I wanted to get out. I wanted to, you know, share my thoughts on them. I think that they're really good. I think they have a lot of potential to be really broken later on. I have a suspect they might get nerfed in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, if you're ever in danger too, you can just tag out between them and you get like a little bit of invincibility window between them, which is very nice. Oh yeah, I can also just do this if I feel inclined to. They're also invincible while they are clashing specifically, not if they're just hovering around. And like I said, it does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. But that is all my thoughts for now. I will see you all later.